I'm Matt. In this video, we're going to talk about prepositions, one of the more confusing types of words in the English language. Prepositions connect parts of a sentence. They can provide answers to questions such as when and where. Some examples are at, above, across, before, between, by, for, in, on, toward, through, with, and under. Prepositions are typically used in prepositional phrases. A prepositional phrase is a phrase that includes a preposition, an object of that preposition, and the object's modifiers. This Edgar Allan Poe short story title has two prepositional phrases. The Fall of the House of Usher. Prepositions are prepositioned in a sentence. They precede the object, the noun, or pronoun in the phrase. In our example, the preposition of precedes the object, the house, in the first phrase, and of precedes usher in the second phrase. When the phrase is modifying a noun, the phrase is functioning as an adjective in the sentence and is considered an adjective phrase. These phrases answer the question, which one? The boy with the blonde hair raised his hand. If the phrase is modifying an adjective, adverb, or verb, its function in the sentence is that of an adverb, and it is considered an adverb phrase. These phrases answered questions such as where and when. Malik studied his notes before the exam. It might be helpful to remember that the subject of a sentence will never be in a prepositional phrase. Here are some additional prepositional phrase examples in which the phrase functions as either an adjective or an adverb would. Prepositions define where something is in time or space. Words of time answer the question of when, and words of space answer the question of where. When did Joe buy a smoothie? Before driving to soccer practice. Where did Coach Stone berate Joe? On the field. Here are 3 rules for prepositions, as well as some exceptions to those rules that might help you understand their use. Rule number 1. Prepositions will almost always have a related noun or pronoun precede them in a sentence. The exception is when the noun or pronoun is unspoken but indicated. Rule number 2. Never end a sentence with a preposition. Or at least try not to. Whoops. Sometimes it takes so much verbal gymnastics to avoid ending a sentence in a preposition that the resulting sentence sounds unnatural. Look at these 2 examples. The first one ends with a preposition, but it sounds more natural. What are you sitting on? The second sounds weirdly formal. On what are you sitting? The important thing is, know the rule so you can break it, but only break it when you have to. Rule number 3. Less is more. When one word will do, don't use 2. For example, when the word all precedes a pronoun, you need to add the word of in between them. However, when all precedes another part of speech, of is unnecessary. All of my horses. All the king's horses. Except, of course, when you don't feel like it, as in the case of the Arthur Miller play, All My Sons. A word that functions as a preposition is not confined to a single role, and it may appear in different capacities in a sentence. The versatility of these words allows them to team up with other words to perform multiple functions, which can be tricky to notice if you're not looking out for it. When the word is modifying verbs, adjectives, adverbs, or an entire sentence, it's functioning as an adverb. He walked down the hill. Down can be used as a preposition, but in this sentence it is being used to answer where he walked. When the word is teamed up with a verb to create a new meaning, it's a phrasal verb. We ran up the tab. Up can be used as a preposition, but here it is part of a phrasal verb. When the word comes before a clause with a verb, it's a conjunction. We decided to go to dinner since we missed the movie. Prepositions can be the source of some confusion, so be sure to use the Chegg Writing Grammar Checker for help finding places where your paper could use some tidying up. With this tool, you can be confident in your grammar so that your focus can stay on the most important element, your ideas.